And
Hello?
10%,
Yes.
well, nearly 10% of Iowa's energy, the electricity, is generated on renewable resources. Do you support such a standard for the country?
Okay, let
And
me
if
step
you
back.
do, what would be that number?
Okay, in general, I support the principle of renewable energy. I love it because it makes a lot of common sense. But I'm also a strong believer in the marketplace, and the market should determine which is the best one. Once government gets involved and either gives grants or subsidies, that distorts the market, but the market will sort it out which one is the most efficient.
Well, right now, coal is the most efficient. I mean, that's the cheapest kilowatt per hour, so if the market was turned loose, we'd see more coal plants. And I'm passionate about the environment. That's how I come to this,
Yeah.
is about the environment. And I'm concerned about the coal emissions. So that's why,
Okay.
renewable resources
Right,
are...
and if you use something like coal, they can't, nobody has a right to pollute the air or your water or your property, and that's a property rights issue. It's not a regulatory socialist issue. Under the private property free market approach, nobody has a right to pollute. And unfortunately, in our early years in the Industrial Revolution, governments and industry got together and they polluted wholesale. But coal, if it can be cleaned up, it should be used. Wind, if people want to use it and it's efficient, they should use it. If nuclear power is efficient and clean, which I happen to believe is, it should be permitted. But government is involved so much in the pros and cons of this. We don't, we inhibit the drilling of gas and oil. We inhibit the building of refineries, and we go to war to protect oil. And yet the Pentagon burns up more oil than in one day than Sweden does in a year. That kind of thing. So there's a lot of waste in there. A lot of hydrocarbons are burned up by our own government. But you can't, there's no benefit to making exceptions, say, well, we're for freedom in the market, except for such and such, and we know that a certain, say wind energy is the most efficient. And then say, well, let's put all our subsidy in, it would cost too much and it wouldn't work. I think back in the time when wind energy should have developed is when the government decided that rural electrification would go out, and they stymied wind energy, and now we're back trying to build it again. But markets are smarter than governments, and renewable energy is just great. But whether corn is the best or whether it's sugar cane or whatever, if you allow government to make decisions, I know a couple of those bureaucrats and a couple of those politicians, they're not smart enough to know. Only the market can tell. But if you have strict rules against pollution and you have the rule of the marketplace, you will come up with the most efficient source of energy. I don't worry at all about, a lot of people in Washington worry about, oh, we're running out of oil, we have to do something. If you have the market, something's going to come in. I think cars would, if we really ran out of oil, and you couldn't use coal, I think you'd have electric cars or something like that, and it would work. You could generate electricity, windmills or whatever. Maybe we'd have a car that we'd plug into our windmill or something. But I'd let somebody else sort it out, but not the politicians.